Welcome to the Art of Procurement podcast with your host, Philip Eidson. Here, thought leaders share the trends, strategies, and tactics that you can use to elevate the role of procurement and your career.
Hi there, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of the Art of Procurement. And today's Friday show may actually be a little bit shorter than normal, as I've really been all hands on deck for coordinating the Procurement Revolution, the event that I'm co-producing with Kelly Barner, my good friend, who's also the editor at Buyer's Meeting Point. And I'll be totally honest and say that the amount of activity that goes on behind the scenes in creating an event like this is a lot more than I ever anticipated. You know, I spoke to other people in the industry who have put on live events, in-person events. They certainly said that was the case for them. I thought doing something online may be a little bit easier, but there's certainly been a lot more work than I ever anticipated. But I'm really happy with how it's turning out. You know, the level of participation has been fantastic from people across the procurement community who have expressed interest in participating and also the interest for listening. But in the last couple of Friday shows, I've given my perspective on how I think procurement is evolving and what that may mean to us as individuals. And whether you agree with it or not, I certainly don't expect everybody to have the same opinion as I do. Then what I do think that it's clear is that the time for change really is now. And that's something I've struggled with, to be honest with you, because it seems like we've been talking about the need to evolve and the need to change for a long, long time. You know, I think back to the 2007-2008 recession, for example, and I'm surprised that that didn't lead to more structural changes in our delivery model, given the desire of our employers at the time to seek more flexible and more variable cost models from a labor perspective. But the elephant in the room to me right now is the disruptive technology that's coming down the pipe, and I talked about that back in those two episodes in 85 and 87, but also discussed in some depth with Christian Lang of TradeShift back in episode 80. And so Kelly and I developed the Procurement Revolution as a platform to allow others the opportunity to share what they're passionate about and what they believe we need to challenge ourselves on as a profession if we are to continue to survive and hopefully to thrive. And the one thing that's important to us is that we make this as accessible as possible. You know, all the other conferences, the online events that we've seen require a ticket. The ticket comes with a price tag. And funnily enough, a lot of smart people advised us to charge a fee for the Procurement Revolution because it would give the perception that there's more value to the content being shared if it's something that you've got to pay for rather than it being available free of charge. But it was important to us that as many procurement professionals as possible had access to the content. And so to participate in the Procurement Revolution, and it's going to be the week of September 26th, all you need to do is register for free at theprocurementrevolution.com. That's theprocurementrevolution.com. Now, in terms of logistics, registrants will receive access to the Procurement Revolution's website, and that's going to be where we host the core of the content. There's going to be different pieces of content released every day over the course of the week. Most of them will consist of, anywhere from 5 to 15-minute audio and video segments. And then throughout the week, we're going to be hosting a series of live webinars. So there'll be one a day with thought leaders, so practitioners, service providers, analysts, and educators. And then one a day with Kelly and I, where we wrap up some of the things that we've learned from the thought leaders who have participated in the content that we've released on that day, on each day. When we look at the categories of the webinars and of the material itself, there are 5 really core categories. I say categories, we want to keep these as open-ended as possible. So they're really just themes that we invited thought leaders to really share content based on, but it wasn't to drive them to in any one particular category or the other. So those broad themes are procurement as a competitive advantage, aligning for relevancy, the unknown unknowns of globalization, be prepared, it's about development and mindset, and then leading edge and the future of procurement. So participation is really going to be a big piece of the event, and we would love for you to get involved by sharing your perspectives on the topics of conversation as you hear them. Kelly and I will be stirring up the discussions both on LinkedIn and Twitter throughout the week. And of course, we would really encourage you to to share your thoughts and to give your perspectives. It's really all about bringing us all together so that we all can collectively share our thoughts. So over the next week, we're going to be hard at work recording, putting the final touches on the event. Again, the date it's going to launch is September 26th. And once you've registered, you'll actually receive the logon details of all the events a couple of days in advance, just to make sure that you have access to the webinars and to the main website, which is where all the content is going to be hosted. Now, I really hope that you're going to be inspired by the perspectives and the opinions shared, and that you really participate in that conversation so that collectively, and this is our aim, we all challenge the status quo, and we want to stand up, we want to speak out, and we want to drive change across our profession. So as a reminder, registration is required. It's free of charge. Just go to theprocurementrevolution.com, enter your email, and you'll be all set. So with that being said, I'm actually just going to jump onto another call right now to record another spot for the event. So I do hope that you have a great weekend, and I really hope that you're able to become a part of the Procurement Revolution. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Art of Procurement. To find an archive of all past episodes, you can go to artofprocurement.com/episodes. And to ensure you never miss another show, go to artofprocurement.com/subscribe.